Hi y'all, I'm Brenda with Blessings and Bread. Welcome to my kitchen. Tonight I'm making supper and I'm making a new dish. I've made it once before and it was delicious. It's super simple and it's another winning chicken recipe that you can make very quickly. And one of the things I love about this recipe is that it's really just comfort food. And now that the holidays are coming on, I think there's lots of sweets out there, lots of parties to go to, but when I'm at home, I just want some good, plain, delicious comfort food. And this is called a chicken pot pie chicken casserole. And I got this recipe off of the site from In the Kitchen with Momma Mel. And it's just one of her recipes and it's really good. So I'm gonna share it with you tonight as I make my supper. This recipe is going to start with about 2 to 3 cups of shredded chicken. And I actually cooked some chicken tenders in my Instapot for mine, but you could actually, to even make this easier, you could even make this by buying chicken at the grocery store. You could get one of those rotisserie chickens, or you could probably even use canned chicken. But I've got about 2 to 3 cups here. I didn't really measure it. I just did a small package of chicken tenders, and that's how much I have. So I'm going to start with that. And the next thing we're going to add, oh, that's still in the freezer. I need to get them out. I need about 10 to 12 ounces of frozen vegetables, but they're still in the freezer. I'll be right back. I'm just using Pick to Sweet mixed vegetables, and they're still frozen. I'm just mixing them in. And this bag is 12 ounces, and I'm just going to use the whole bag. I think in her original recipe, she only used 10 ounces, but I don't have anything to do with 2 ounces of mixed vegetables, so I'm going to use the whole bag. All right, next I'm going to add 1 can of cream of chicken soup. And they did say in this recipe you could use any kind of cream of anything soup, basically, whether it was cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, cream of celery, cream, whatever. But I'm going to stick to cream of chicken. I think that's going to give it the best flavor. And that's what I used the first time I made this. So cream of chicken soup. And then I'm going to add a half a cup of milk. And what I think really makes this recipe probably pretty good is then it has a half a cup of sour cream. Sour cream just always seems to give casserole recipes that little extra kick to it, to give it that extra flavor. And now I'm just going to kind of begin to mix these together. Now I still need to add my spices, and I'm going to use quite a few spices. She really didn't add as much to hers as I decided to add to mine. So I'm going to start with a little bit of garlic powder, and I'm just going to put, oh, that's probably about a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Don't want to overwhelm it, but then I'm going to just shake in some basil leaves. And again, I'm just guessing at this, and this would all be just to your taste. So a little basil, a little parsley. And I'm just going to do about half a tablespoon of parsley, maybe more like just a teaspoon of parsley. And a little bit of onion powder, probably about a half a teaspoon of onion powder. I never can get my onion powder not to cake up. Does anybody have that problem? Always cakes up. If you have a trick for how to keep onion powder from caking up, I could use that little hack. And the last thing I'm going to add here, well, I need to add salt and pepper, which I forgot to get, but I'm going to add some poultry seasoning. And I'm probably going to use about, maybe about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of poultry seasoning in there. And then, of course, I need some salt and pepper, which I forgot to get. So I'll be right back. With all of those other seasonings, I don't think it'll need a lot of salt. So I'm gonna just go with a teaspoon of salt. Hopefully that's not too much. And then I'm just gonna guess on the pepper. The pepper would definitely be something to your preference. Could even probably be left out, but I'm doing about 1/4 of a teaspoon maybe of black pepper. Now we're gonna get this really all mixed together. And this pretty much is the casserole part that we're mixing for the chicken casserole. And once that's kind of mixed all together, all we're going to do now is just put it into our casserole pan. Now, she said to use a 9x13, but I'm going to use this little pan of mine. It's not quite a 9x13. I think it'll make it a little thicker casserole, a little deeper, and I'm going to spray it lightly with some cooking spray, and then we're just going to put the casserole part right into the bowl. And then we just want to spread that out. And now we're going to set this part aside, and now we're going to make the topping. Oh, I remember I set my bowl aside, but she said the cool thing about this was you could just use the same bowl. So I better rake that out a little better. But she said we could just use the same bowl. All right, so to mix the topping. And we are going to make now a cornbread topping, which is very easy. And it's going to begin with 1 box of Jiffy Mix corn muffin mix. Now, normally I'm a savory cornbread girl, but this recipe was really good with that little bit of sweetness on top. So we're going to start with 1 package of Jiffy Mix cornbread mix. And then I'm going to add 1 can of cream of corn soup. And I have not opened it ahead of time, so give me a sec. We're going to open this. It's just 1 regular size can, cream of corn soup. How many ounces? 14, almost 15 ounces of cream of corn soup. We're going to add 1 egg. And now we're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to mix that all together. And this will be our topping. All right, now, before I can put this on the top, though, it just dawned on me that I forgot to add one of the ingredients to the topping, to the bottom, and that was 2 cups of cheddar cheese. And I use mild cheddar cheese, but you could probably use whatever you want. But that needs to be stirred in, and I'm going to do my best to just stir that in the pan. I'm just going to mix that in. Should have already been mixed in, but hey, this is the real world sometimes. I always say I should check my recipe, and tonight I got in a hurry. It's a little bit late for getting my supper done, so I should have already had it done and finished. And then, of course, if I want to record what I'm cooking for supper, that takes longer, so the men folk around here are getting restless for some food. They're starting to hunt the pantry for something else to eat. So I need to get this going. Okay, but there. Disaster kind of avoided here. So I got my cheese in because that's going to make it really good, the cheese. All right, and I am going to stop before I go any further and double check this recipe. All right, I have my chicken, my frozen vegetables, sour cream, cream of chicken soup, milk, and the shredded cheese, and then all of my delicious seasonings. And then the topping has the Jiffy mix, the cream corn, the egg, and the butter. So now we're just going to take this topping and we're just going to pour it on top of that chicken mixture and spread it out. And we are going to put this in the oven at 400 degrees, and we're going to bake it for 35 to 40 minutes. And so I will probably set my temperature for 30 and check it and then start watching it closely after that point. But basically we just need to cook it till it's hot through and through and the cornbread is nice and golden brown. So we'll be back when this is out of the oven. My casserole is now out of the oven and it's probably still too hot, but we're in a hurry to eat. It's late, so I'm gonna dip in and go for it. I can smell all that cornbread. It smells so good. It's all nice and gooey and delicious looking. Look at the cheese. It's just hanging off the edge. So it's just steaming hot. So we're gonna have to give it a minute to cool and then we'll give it a good taste. All right, I'm going in. This may be a little too hot, but I'm ready to eat. That is delicious. I really think I like this better than chicken pot pie, but that's because I'm a cornbread girl. I love cornbread, so this is like chicken pot pie with cornbread on top. It is amazing. This is a new favorite recipe for me. I hope both my boys like this because I am gonna wanna make this and eat this a lot. So I hope this recipe was good for you. You should try it. It's delicious. It's rainy, cold night tonight, and this is perfect comfort food for us around here tonight. I hope you'll try this recipe. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving holiday, and I hope you'll enjoy the Christmas holidays, and I hope you'll always remember that Christ is the reason for our season, and I hope that you have Christ in your heart. I ask you to, if you've not been with me and subscribe, join my channel, come along with me on my journey, and I will see you the next time I'm in my kitchen, on my porch, or in my garden.